Hello guys, so we are back for another live TRECENA analysis. I just need to let the YouTube folks know that we are live here also on Instagram. The live is gonna be only recorded here on YouTube, and for the Instagram you can watch it as if you want. So here you go. Let's just wait for some more people to join. Hello. Just need to post on Instagram the link, and then we are just about to start. Hey Cedric, how are you? Yeah, I was back. This is the second live that I'm doing since I'm back. I was traveling, so I kind of miss doing that. Like, it's always fun to do that online with you. How are you? Let me just post the link for the YouTube, for the Instagram followers. Let me check here. And we are live. I always forget. Link. Right here. Done. Actually, I was traveling to some indigenous communities, but then when I came back, I got sick. But then I was also thinking about, just what would I do, to change, because the entire last year was without computer. That's why I started this session or the series of lives. I kind of fell in love with this and these TRECENAs that I skipped where I was away. That I kind of felt like, oh, that is always so nice to, also for me as well, to accompany the TRECENA, doing live TRECENAs with you, interacting like with everybody who's watching. And then I decided to go back. And now now that we already started this new Maya year, I'm really thinking about like just delivering way more content now that I have another computer. I just need to figure out how to do lives on the computer, because I think it'll be better as well. Now I can go back and edit the videos, deliver like especially for those where I explain stuff. I think it's better to have some edits to facilitate, especially with the Quiche linguistics. So, but I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to do these lives again. And let me just go also live here on Instagram. And we are live. Actually, like the way web, like that is in the Yucatan and in Quiche, we call the Tzapiquir, the resting days. These are the 5 days before the change of the mom. And let me just position here so for example, the previous mom was Hulaur-e, 11 Pathfinder. So then you count 5 nawals, then you arrive to the next mom. It works like as a boss, just leaving the charge, and then the other ones, starts to get prepared to enter, to assume its position over there. So that's why, for example, the way web in Yucatec Maya means the dreaming time. Let me see if I can fix like that. Yeah. And Tzapiquir means the resting days. So these are periods for, you know, for you preparing, you know, it's for you to figure out like what to do. It's kind of the same vibe as we have here in the Western world when you have like the New Year's holidays where we stop for Christmas. So you have like the period to prepare for something new. But in the Maya works like we are receiving a new entity that is going to be taking over the the year. So it's gonna be continue everything that the previous mom has left. So after every time after 5 days, we start with the new mom. Now is Kablaur Naor 12 thoughts. And so and this is gonna be like a very masculine year. And hello guys from Instagram. I'm also live on YouTube. If you want to check it out, I will try to look at the both cameras. So for this year, like the past year, we were in 11 Pathfinder. Oh, hello Daniela, nice to see you here. So the previous year, we were in the 11 Pathfinder. That was like the year of the multiple possibilities of the path. That's strange because in my account. Oh, maybe you are just following the Yucatec version because they follow different year barriers. I follow the Quiche tradition, but the Yucatec Mayas, they follow a different one. There are over 29 different ethnicities in the Maya culture, like the Yucatec, there is the Cholan, the Cachiqueo, the Quiche. The Quiche is the largest one, but not all of them, they follow the same year barriers. So in the Quiche tradition, we always start around this period. Like next year is going to be like if this year was the February 19th, next year is going to be the February 18th. But pay attention to this because depending on the lineage or the tradition or the linguistic group that you follow, they might have like some differences. So this is an important reminder that not whenever we talk about Maya calendar, like it's not one and the same. It all varies from linguistic groups to one another. And 1 second. I check my yeah, but it's very common to have like this kind of misunderstanding because it's not very well explained around there. And let's see, thank you. That's funny. In your calendar, we have it's passed a couple of days ago, and we weren't supposed to go out, I guess. Actually, like usually, you know, like some old times like that used to say that are like the unlucky days, but this came like with the colonization, like full of judgmental stuff. So. But in reality, that is none of this, because the Maya calendar like passed through so many, you know, contaminations along the years, because of the evangelization during like the Spaniards when they were colonizing there. So like there are so many like the meanings of the nawals. They were also changed as well because of this. So we always need, for example, like from my lineage, we always take from the ancient traditions in here, like something away from like this judgmental or this colonization process. And so that there is nothing like, for example, the Tz'i like is only a period for you to rest, for you to prepare, like what would like to accomplish in the next year. It's something for you to start projecting, for you to start just setting your intentions. Because one thing that nobody talks in the, for example, in the Maya calendar, that's kind of the hardest thing to enter is to really start thinking how the Maya people think whenever we talk about time. because in Maya languages, we don't have tenses in the language. So you don't know, like if we are talking about the future or about the past or the present. So whenever we're talking about the ancestors, like you don't know, like they like alive or dead. Because in the Maya, we don't have like this distinguish, like the spirit is always going to be floating in the breezes of the wind. So you can still summon them, you can still feed the presence, you can still connect them with the dreams during ceremonies as well. So it's a different way for us to approach and see the world. So which is different because here in the Western world, we tend to see like perceive time as a linear thing. For example, when you talk, we always use linear thinking. Oh, yesterday I did something because next week I'm gonna be doing that. Today I'm prepared because next week. So we always have like this past, present, and future. So we always talk like the time as is a separate, like the past, present, and future are a separate thing. But in the Maya calendar, are all interconnected with one another. Like the time is more like, our future is more represents of a mood, like what you are setting a mood. So it's something that could be already developed over there, but is always, you know, interconnected with what happened in the past. So this enters, like I can maybe later do a video because it's a very extensive topic, but it's very interesting. That's why I'm also studying Quiche as well, because that's a very important aspect to really comprehend the Maya calendar and understand like how the Maya people perceive time and how you're going to be making sense of how to use the calendar, how to for you to use, like really use, like, or just enter into this living world that is the Maya calendar. And so I think, I hope I just have helped you with these answers. And so I think if you don't have any more questions, we can start here with the analysis. Hello everybody who is arriving here in the live. I'm looking right here because I'm talking to people on YouTube, but if you prefer, you can just keep watching that from Instagram as well, right? So we are just starting we just finished now we are just finishing, depending on where you are in the world. We are just finalizing the Oshilahutihash TRECENA, the 13 cut, and now we are just about to start the 13 monkey TRECENA, the Oshilahubat TRECENA. And so in the past TRECENA, we were talking about like the biggest cuts that would be able to free our path. We started the TRECENA with Kame, one ancestors. There was talking about like the new, could be a new suffering or a new support. So Tihash is the nawal that talks about cutting, like cutting to heal or cutting to hurt. Also is a nawal that talks about communication, like words that heal and words that hurt. Like, because you can empower someone with your words, you can heal them, but you can also destroy them, you can slander them with your communication. As well as we use our communication to summon our ancestors, just to feed them, just to keep praising them, like their presence that is still in the world. So what started as a suffering, you can transform that into a support. You can still get the support from the ancestors that are over there if you learn how to communicate with them, how to. Because in the previous TRECENA analysis, I was telling you that one of the basic Maya concepts and basic Maya, let's say, rules is that everything is alive, everything has a way of consciousness, everything can be fed as well, like everything can be nurtured, so it doesn't matter if it's alive or dead. So it's around that, it's in the sea of consciousness, so we can enter into this realm. And so this 13 cut, everything that is started in Kame, like was already being pushed by what was happening in 13 Tihash. So every action for every nawal was already, just preparing that for the culmination to do the biggest cut. For you to stop suffering, stop, just making your path, full of melancholy. So that was like the biggest cut to free ourselves from that path of hurt, to heal our path so we can just continue advancing on our goals, our projects, and continue on. So now that we are just finalizing this TRECENA, we are entering to the 13 Bats TRECENA, or for those who prefer to call the TRECENA by the number ones, the TRECENA of 1 Kawuq. In reality, like because my lineage, we always name the TRECENA by the 13, because in Quiche, TRECENA is called Oshlahu Kernen. So it's the cycle of the 13th, is the biggest one. Because once again, talking about time, is the one that pushes the TRECENA forward, like it's the ruler. He's the one that is dictating everything that's from the first split second to the final second. Is the 13 that is already pushing the time forward, is the biggest entity. And the ones are very soft, it's something that is just beginning to appear. So, but it's not like a solid start. That's why when you talk about like the reinitiation of time in the Quiche tradition, you can see they always start in the now 8, which is a new beginning, but it's more prepared. And that's how we can also accompany the TRECENA to understand the now 8 over there, what's going to be like a second beginning, what can be more prepared to initiate stuff. And so in this TRECENA, after we do the biggest cut from the hash, we can free ourselves from the path of suffering. Or depending on how it goes, we can end up just being more hurt or not advancing, stuck in melancholies. Depending on how we went from the past TRECENAs, this one is going to be continue. It's just like that every TRECENA passes the baton for the other. So now if we free our path, we do the biggest cut, now we can start with a new vision. We can start like with a fresh spring of intuition. For those who want to see the sequence of the nawals, I left here in the description of the YouTube. But also you can enter to my website. The link is also in the description. You can use the calculator to see the sequences of the nawals. And so in this TRECENA, we are starting with 1 Kawuq. So now 1 is a spring of this TRECENA, like it's the fresh water that breaks the skin of the earth, looking for a path. Like it's very soft, it's very influenceable. Just like the spring, it can be contaminated. So it's something very naive. So it's something very soft that is just beginning looking for a path to follow. But since this first moment, what is starting in Kawuq is now of the deepest intuition. Like it's the second most feminine of all of the nawals. But in Maya, when we talk about intuition, it's not the general intuition that we tend to apply here in the Western world. Because there are many types of intuition. Like we have like the something that we call the gut feeling, like something that you use kind of your bias, something like just because you saw something, you're kind of expecting that. But that's not like the type of intuition that Kawuq talks about. We also have the intuition whenever we are doing the process of learning and repetition. So you don't need to you can do stuff without the process of thinking. For example, breathing. We don't need to think to breathe. We do that intuitively. Whenever you practice, for example, if you're learning guitar and you memorize the chords and how to move your things through the fretboards. So you can do that intuitively. But that's also not what Kawuq talks about. Kawuq talks about the deep intuition. The intuition where we take like the information directly from the source. Without the process of thinking, without the process of memory and repetition, is something that just appears in front of you. It's unsolicited information. Something that sometimes you're just chilling over there and then you just got something. You don't know if that's going to be true or not, or if that's going to be coming to life or not. But it's still going to be having just to deal with that. That comes as like a sheet lightning that suddenly illuminates the sky. Something that you didn't ask for that. So Kawuq will talk about this type of intuition that we take exactly from the Uxlab shell, the great spirits of the earth, like the inner spirit. Because something for those who are arriving here, I have a video, like a series of video where it's called Fundamentals in my playlist. So I talk briefly about like these layers. Because before the nawals, whenever we talk about the reflection of the nawals on us, there is also the Uxlab. The Uxlab, that is the inner consciousness that was created during the mother's experience when we were being gestated over there during pregnancy. So that's what really reflects how your nawal is going to be acting on you. That's why there is no like certain way to say that judge a person, just like astrology. Like, oh, we just put that in a certain group or in a box and say, oh, people are like this. The Uxlab will tell, and the nawal is going to give the expression. The same way the nawals behave here according to the Uxlab shell, that is the big spirit of the earth that gives birth to all of everything. So Kawuq, the sheet lightning, is just like this sheet lightning of information that you have to deal with that. And sometimes, you know, we feel with a lot of information, and for example, we can use that for useful things or for bullshit as well. So it can also be the now that talks about clear communication. If Tihashi, you kind of filter your words to use the communication, Kawuq, then you just put exactly like what is supposed to be said. You know, you go beyond. So that's why it's the now that we talk about the vision. Like it's the tunnel vision, the spiritual vision that makes you see beyond, makes you see through. You know, in Quiche, like Kawuq in Quiche, that has no meaning. It's a borrowed word from the Yucatec and the Cholan. The Yucatec is Kawuq and Cholan is Kawak, that is referred to as storms. But in Quiche, we always apply the meaning of, you know, answer and revelation. It's one of the most mysterious nawal. In Quiche, we say Sakalah, just like whenever like the clouds go up to the mountain, just you cannot see anything, and then the sunlight just appears and kalah, and then you can see that. So that's the now that we use also for divination. So Kawuq tells at the beginning of this new information, this fresh new information, that the 13 bats that's ruling this TRECENA is going to be having like enough information, enough source to start connecting the dots, to start putting things into actions, to start making the interconnections that will help you to do interventions in your life. As you free your path, now you have a clear vision to start working on our project, just start putting things into action. Bat is the now of the monkey, the hollower monkey, but you also can say the thread, because we talk about like the way like the Maya artists, you know, just interweave the threads, which is a metaphor of how the hollower monks swing, you know, from the trees. It looks like in the loom, whenever you put the threads over there and then you start interweaving. So that's like the concept of bats. And also is the now that restore the order after the chaos. So it puts everything back to order. So this is the TRECENA to start making the interconnection, or just do your artistic stuff, or just to find, you know, solutions for you to resolve what can be clouding your path depending on how the past TRECENA went. So then you can do intervention. So then you can get out of a situation. You can save yourself. But also, as being the thread can also get entangled as well. It's not everything that comes from bats going to be like a tapestry, like of something beautiful, you know, coming there. Sometimes you can get entangled with your own ideas, with your own interconnections, especially because everything that we receive in this spring of intuition, we don't know if we can rely that or not. So that's in this TRECENA, we can also get into trouble because of that. because we never know like what to follow. That's why we need to be focused. That the more focused we are for what we are directing this light of intuition, the better it's going to be for us. The more we can use our streetwise also to intervene, to use like our essence, our spiritual essence as a passion to find something meaningful for our lives. So, and that's what this TRECENA is going to be about. So in this one Kawuq, it's going to be this beginning of the vision, but also can be the beginning of a trouble. Or if you got hurt, then Kawuq can act also in exasperation. Just like when you have like this sudden rage because you cannot stand, because you don't do the effort or trying just to put your life into order, or you cannot find a way. So Kawuq can also do this experience of sudden attacks of rage in there. So if you don't treat that, that can get worse along the TRECENA. So you need to bear in mind with that. So it's a good day to focus on what kind of stuff, what are your passions, how you can focus on your passions, how can you bring, you know, this beauty, like just build bring a beautiful thing. But whenever I talk about creativity, it's not about art, it's just about like the ability of resolve stuff. So that's a good thing to start in Kawuq. And then moving to the next now, we go to Junajpu, to Conqueror Sun. The now 2 is the moment of the retraction where we can do our calculations. If you are using the Maya calendar for productivity, for example, the now 2 can be the moment where you can project stuff. You can see what you want to achieve, so you can put all the steps together, so you can find a right balance according to the proper amount of time that you have, or like these mini goals that you can, you know, decide to achieve over there. So now 2 is a great point to do that. So now 2 is the retraction. After the water that's finding a path, looking for finding a path, so then it doesn't have another strength, so it needs to go backwards, so to accumulate more water before moving forward. So it's the process of recalibration. As we can also use that as a moment to take one step back to see where we want to go, but also look back to see what went wrong in the past TRECENA. So in the now Junajpu, we talk about the battle of get out of the darkness to overcome insecurities. Just following the metaphor of the seed that goes to the darkness of the underground, and then needs to get all the nutrients to rise up and come as a flower to start attracting, to bring the beauty. So to Junajpu is going to be calculating what is the beauty you would like to bring into this world, or to your life, or to your projects. Or also Junajpu talks about the battle, also applying the metaphor of the warrior, that the warrior needs to face the battle, but it has the fear. Though you know it can die over there, so you need to face your inner demons or your inner insecurities just to move forward. You get like the courage necessary for you to fight for what you want. So it's a way for you just to see what was hurting you in the past TRECENA and what you could cut maybe. So now you can project, you know, bring these resolutions, see what bats, you know, over there is already pushing things to give you new ideas. If you already start focus in this TRECENA, maybe the light of Kawuq can illuminate how to resolve stuff, how you can connect those dots, so you can move forward in the TRECENA. You can overcome your insecurities. And then moving to the next nawal, we're gonna go to Oshib Imox, 3 water. Now 3 is the water that opens the path. After the calculation is the one that starts just going forward to overcome the obstacles, just to surpass everything that comes in the way. And just like the waterfall, like the current of water that finds its way through the rocks just to pass through, or like the delta of a river that started, you know, diverging to so many places to continue flowing forward. So this is the first step of the TRECENA where we do like more energy, we have like more impact, because now 3 is a masculine nawal. I have a video talking about like the let's say these genders of nawals. It's not related to gender, but it's a classification here also in my playlist in the fundamentals, if you want to get familiar with that. And now Imox is the now of the flow. It's also cognate to the now 3, because the now Imox as being in the water, so it's always going to be asking for you to continue moving forward. But Imox is a now that is really hard to control. It's because it's the now of the imprecision. We also associate with the left hand. It's the left hand as a way to say that the hand that doesn't have like the same precision as like your good one. So you can do some mistakes in there, so you can lose a little bit of the flow or the balance that you should have just to continue the flow. And that can, generate like the Imox to overflow, so you can end up just bringing madness into that. So also the Imox, we can also connect to the sea of consciousness. It's the place where we can draw our inspirations to reserve things, just to bring our ideas. Is where we share like our common thoughts, where like we fish the thoughts over there. So it's the open tap of water. Like if we are talking about like the TRECENA starts with a fresh new intuition, depending on how we are going, if the spring wasn't polluted, so then we can tap into this sea of consciousness of Imox to flow things forward, just to find a flow, just to push things forward. Start creating with what we have in your heads, not overthinking. Now 3 days are not a day to overthink, are days for you to go forward. So always remember that. Now 3, don't try to stop, don't try to do something that is going to compromise your projects. It's a good day for you to find your way forward. But Imox, as I mentioned, sometimes like what you think could be like your tapestry, it can also show you that you are wrong. That's why in the sea of consciousness we can enter into madness. We can transform tapestry into travesty in that sense. Because Imox can talk about whenever we misunderstand stuff. For example, if we start the TRECENA receiving a big intuition in our Kawuq, sometimes that our vision, like whenever it goes to our mind, we can apply bias. We can apply like our own stuff there, but we can be wrong. So we can start misunderstanding or misinterpreting stuff because of Imox. Imox can cause confusion in your path. Especially if the past TRECENA, like you couldn't do the proper cuts. So then Imox can make things go into madness, and bats will be likely to accumulate entanglements their own. And that those entanglements can be like something that can make you implode, that can make you poisoning yourself. And that's what you want to avoid. So it's a good day to start flowing, to see what you can inject force into something, inject force in your ideas, stay focused on what you want to receive this light to bring solutions for your life. And then from Oshib Imox, you're gonna move to Kahib Yek for wind. Now for wind is gonna be the now of the containment, of the excitement. Now 4 is the water that stops, just like after the waterfall. You can see like there is a pool of water, so the water temporarily stays over there. So we're talking about what you can establish, or can stop a little bit or reduce the speed, so we can continue on. You can just see how things are going. So it's a good day to put things into balance since we started. And now Yek, we talk about the insufflation of life, the now that fills us with life and encourages us to continue moving forward. Is the now of the excitement that we can have. But for Yek is a very contradictive now, because now 4 wants to stop, wants to be fixed in one place, while now Yek you cannot contain, you cannot stop the wind. So this can be like a place where you should contain your excitement, just do the measurement. Because if you just pass like the good amount of excitement that you should have, that cannot be good for you as well. So we need to keep things imbalanced. So we avoid to exploding. Like yik can be just like a balloon that can explode in excitement, or like a child that can throw temper tantrums whenever things are not like like according to their will. So that's the nature of now yik. So in this TRECENA that we are talking about creation, we need to set our expectations of what is possible to create, not just like set like something that's too high that's going to be impossible. It's good to dream, it's good to be excited, but we need to also keep our feet on the floor, because we don't want to turn things into madness. So that's why we need to do a good calculation in our tool to see how we can handle in the TRECENA, just to set like a ground level expectations of how to move things forward. So to avoid us to get more angry or frustrated when things doesn't go according to how we want. So this is a very important step in this 4 wind. And then from 4 yik, we're gonna move to Aq'ab'al, 5 clarity. Now 5 is the now after the water that accumulates enough water, enough flow over there, the water is going to be going and overflow is the next stage. And so what I say, hot days is when things can go sideways, can really have a repercussion on what is the real direction that we're going to be seeing the 13 bats that is pushing over there. So now 5 are the days that you cannot contain. But if you set yourself in a good flow, you made a good preparation, so then it can be like the best days for you to give like 150% to really flow with it. So it's a day with like a lots of power to continue with that. So to put your intention during these hot days for you to see something accumulate big over there, for you to harvest something nice later on. And now Aq'ab'al is the now of the clarity, is the first rays of the sun that start illuminating what is in the dark. So we're talking about what we decide just to put into the light, but it could be also something that we can decide just to keep things into the darkness as well, because maybe they are not ready to see the light of day yet. Maybe we need to gestate a little bit. If in this TRECENA we are talking about information and as another way or knowledge, Kawuq is when you get things directly. Bat is when you connect the dots. And Aq'ab'al is the one that's whenever you have something that interests you, and then you're going to be doing a research. If you start like with a fresh new intuition, now you need to get more clues if you can rely that or not. So that's okay, you have a spark of light over there, but you can go into this darkness and start to illuminating there, clarifying things for you. So doing researches, just go research what kind of skills do you need, or what kind of professions do you need to help you do this job. So go there and clarify what you need to do these big interconnections, to do these big resolutions that Oshulabat is pushing, over there. So to finalize, because that's our goal in here. But Aq'ab'al also enters into the realm of you wanting everything to be perfect. Like it's a very hard and aggressive entity that requires you just to be perfect. Like we have this joke in the Maya lands that you can do things like in a good way, you can do things in an excellent way, you can do things perfectly, and then there is the Aq'ab'al way that is beyond perfection, something that nobody can deliver. So this is the moment of the TRECENA where you should try to avoid becoming too perfectionist. Try to let go, or just to making everything perfect. Just try to look at the build up of the TRECENA so you can flow with that. So you can use all of this flow to clarify what you need to clarify. And that's something very important, because otherwise Aq'ab'al can enter into the complaints, something that you cannot deliver if you do not set your expectations in 4 winds. If you didn't track the flow in 3 water, Now you can be complaining because of something that you cannot deliver. You can start just taking too hard in yourself. And that can poison all your projects, that can poison like your mental state as well. So try to be aware on what this Aq'ab'al day can bring. But if we use that in a warmer side, use that to clarify what you really need, and then just let the nawal 5 just take you to where you need to go. And then moving from Aq'ab'al 5 clarity, we pass to nawal 6. 6 kat. Waqib kat is the heart of the TRECENA. Now 6 is where we put things into balance, where we're going to be pondering stuff, pondering the repercussions of the nawal 5 brought us. So it's another moment of trying just to put things into perspective, like another balancing point for you to decide what to do. It's not a good day for you to make a decision, but it's a good day for you to put your considerations. Take all of the intuition that the Kawuq brought to you, like your light of ideas, lights that like the ideas you want to interconnect or things you want to resolve. Take the things like that you researched in there, take what you have done so far, take your calculations and start putting that into perspective. It's a way for you to start measuring, okay, where the things are going to accumulate. This is a very important part of the TRECENA. It's the heart, where we put our hands in the heart, say where we go from here. So then we can really see what we can accumulate, what we're going to be seeing in the 13. Because everything that is in 13 is already built. So we are just, every step that we do has already a destination over there. It's not fate, but it's a destination. We can use our limited, as we used to say, free will, trying to shape the best destination as possible. So that's what we're going to be doing in nawal 6. And nawal kat is the nawal of the burning into ashes, or the nawal of the efforts, the nawal of the tasks. Is the nawal of the weight of the bag that we carry. So it's a nawal that is going to be talking about the sacrifices we do to sustain something, or the sacrifices we do to help others, to give life to the other. We can also use this TRECENA to help people resolve their stuff. Can be a noble thing. But sometimes we need to pay attention if we are not helping more the others than ourselves. Then we're like just putting like weight in our bag so we cannot progress with our life. If we are just getting entangled with our lives, so then we are not able to help the others. So first we need to find a way for us to stabilize, just to have like our bag with our materials like as light as possible, so we can flow with our path. So this is very important to remind. So it's going to be the heart for you to see like how much you are dedicating yourself to the others or to your projects, and how much for yourself. Because if you're having too many ideas, that's going to be bringing weight on your bag, and that's going to be make like you're having like the aches in your back. So, and you want to avoid doing that. So it's the day for you to stop the thing, remove the things that you don't really need, that maybe those ideas that are just making weights over there. There are sometimes some beautiful ideas that you don't want to let go of that, but if they do not fit in your goal, like where you want to get right now, just put that aside, for a while. Just focus on this minor task for you to get something done, for you to get something, continue putting that into action, which is the real goal of this TRECENA. So otherwise you're going to be become extenuated because of this weight. So we need to avoid that. So it's the day to put things into perspective, to see what is weighing you down in the TRECENA, what's making you feeling exhausted, that this can cause you become like irritated, become stressed. So, and you need to take it easy. Let's just take from the easy way to follow this TRECENA. And then from Waqib Kat, 6 burning into ashes, we move to Uqub Khan. Now 7 is the climax of the TRECENA. It's the point where we can see already where things are going to accumulate. Now we have like a clearer vision of where everything is going to be culminate. And then it's just a matter for us to wait for the accumulation of that. And the nawal Khan is the now of the intervention. Khan represents the sound of the thunder. That if we're talking like the sheet lightning, so later after a few moments comes the sound of the thunder announcing changes in nature. So it's about like if the dry season is going to be moving to the wet season because of the rains and everything. So it's what makes it an announcement. 1 second, what do you think about this? Either the 5th sun just started? I'm going to be going back to your question, Marcus, whenever I just finish here the analysis, only for not to just lose the thread in here, okay? But I'll be coming back to your questions to see if I really understood what you mean. And so 7 Khan is gonna be the day to do the final intervention, or for you to see like what is the intense passion that you can put in this TRECENA, that you can get from this TRECENA, so that you can see like the beauty that you can attract, you know, from all of this accumulation that this TRECENA can bring, how you can resolve stuff, like how you can use all of those ideas to intervene, you know, onto your favor, maybe for you to get out of a situation that was poisoning you. Because Khan is, we always refer to the serpent. Usually they tell our serpent, more talking about the lightning, the shape of the lightning looks like a serpent, you know, or a thread that comes from the sky to the earth, what connects. So Bats is the one that is going to be moving these threads. And so in this 7 Khan, we can already see what kind of, how is the thing that we are doing. So if you are just going behind, so we know what kind of intervention we can do to continue in this, like to the area that we want, just to build this tapestry or beautiful things into this world. But also to understand that depending on how the TRECENA is going, on how these nawals are behaving to you, like Khan can also manifest as a poison, can also manifest as an enemy that is going back to you. Maybe your perfectionist can act as your enemy. Maybe your confusion is going to be something that's going to be poisoning your ideas. Maybe your lack of calculation can be like that's the reason why, you know, you just couldn't get stuff, that is going to be making you become frustrated. So that's why you need to do a good ponderation in the nawal 6. Pay attention to these nawals, like this, because as you can see, time in the Maya calendar, in the TRECENA, is not something linear, or it's something that goes back and forth, just like a snake walking. So that's the way that the ancient ways describe time moving forward. So we have like we start, then we calculate, and we move forward, we stop, then we overflow, then we ponder, and now we get the intensity, like now 7 being the lava or the geyser, the hot water. And then moving from 7 Khan, we're gonna go to Washakib Kame. And here's the point of the TRECENA where we restart everything. Like this is gonna be the second beginning of the TRECENA. We finalize in the 7 Khan. Now, but it's second beginning is just like we're just going back to the start, the same start. But now, like every time we can do something for the second time, we have more peace of mind, we kind of know what to expect. So maybe we can correct, we can be more prepared. Now you can understand why K'iche' people start things on the now 8, because you kind of know, you already passed one time, so now you know how to go back and do things in a more balanced way. And now Kame is the now of the ancestors. The now ancestors, we saw them in the past TRECENA as the now number 1. So after 20 days, now is returning as now 8, like it's more prepared. It's how you can recognize the patterns, so you can build your information, so you can connect the dots. So you can see all of those light of intuitions, if you can rely, if you are listening, if that's coming really from the realm of the ancestors as a supportive ideas to you, or a supportive energy to guide you through your path, or if it's that, it's just something that you're just making up or just applying your own bias, that is just only to keep making you suffer, only to keep making you walking in circles in a place. So then you can see if that rage of the Kame, that annoyance, is still making you feel hurt. So we can use the Washakip Kame to return with the support, so we can go back and listen to our intuition and connect better ideas over there to resolve things in a better way. And then from Washakip Kame, we're gonna move to Belaer Quer, 9 deer. Now 9, after the 8, is gonna be what is hidden from sight. Just like the caves that has water on the inside, or the underground rivers. Like the current of water that is running over there, below us, but we cannot see. Something that's working on the background, on closed doors. And now Quer, we talk about the spiritual strength. Is the now of the altar. The altar is the place where we do our communication with the ancestors. We do our intermediation with the other realms. So where you put your offerings there in order to feed the ancestors, in order for you to get spiritual strength, is the place where you can offer your candles, you can offer your chantings, your glass of water, your incenses, all the types of offerings that you can possibly make in the altar. So it's the place that you put stability. That's why you connect the altar with the deer, like especially those with like the white spots in the back. That is the meaning of the carrying the stars in the back and also the earth on the belly. So you see that what's going to be established, so stability in 4 legs. And also the deer is a sign of life, because it's the one that keeps the food chain happening, keeps giving like the wildlife energy to sustain. So 9 Quer is going to be the process of gestating the strength necessary for you. If in the beginning of the TRECENA we were calculating like the battle that you have to face, or what is the beauty we like to attract in this TRECENA, or what kind of insecurities we need to overcome with Junajpu. So now Quer, you identify that you need to gestate your strength over there. So you need to just feed your spirit, so then you can be like with a strong mind and a strong body, like healthy, just to be able to commit to your stuff in life. So this is the moment where you need to answer the... okay, Marcus, I will go back to all of the questions after, no worries. And so you can fuel your inner self with this strength. That's why it's the moment for you to get this strength, like this strength of the altar, where you can feed the ancestors to do this trade for you to become more prepared, more balanced, not just being driven by all of this stuff that we spoke about, like this loss of excitement, the confusion, and everything else. Then moving from Belaer Quer, and also Cedric, are going to be going back to the questions after I just finalize here, okay? So, because otherwise I can get lost, I can get entangled here in my thoughts. But no worries, I will reply to all of the questions. And so then moving from 9 Quer, we're going to be moving to 10 Canil, Laur Canil. Now 10 is the point of convergence of the TRECENA, where everything meets in one single place. Is how we address that, explaining metaphorically, associating to the lake that can receive water from the other rivers or from the inner springs. But as it receives, it also going to give water for the animals in the lands. So it's a giver and a receiver. And it's what we can also talk about as being like a need to collaborate with others. for you to do like a conversion. Another way to spot an all 10 place is that like an airport where people are arriving and departing at the same time. So it's a place of convergence. So it can be a day for you to help others. And Canil is an hour of the seed. The seed in Maya is only the potential of something to germinate and multiplicate. Like it's not really the now of the abundance. Can become abundance as a consequence if the seed has the proper amount of water, the proper soil, the proper irradiation of the sun, the proper conditions, then the seed can become the tall tree, can give like lots of fruits. But if not, if it's for little, it's for less, nothing can germinate from that. But if it's more than is necessary, you can rotten the seed as well. So there are these three phases that we can see in the now seed. So this is a now that we talk about how we're going to be dosing stuff. We need to learn how to dose, because sometimes now Canil talks whenever we do like things in exaggerated ways. For example, if you want to produce more, we will be drinking lots of coffee. Depending on how your vessel is built, maybe you can handle, but sometimes that stuff that builds you up, that enhances your performance, can be the same stuff that can make you feel intoxicated. And in the beginning of the TRECENA, we saw the now 3 water, Oshib Imox, that was talking about the injection of force. If you are not focused, remember that Imox is a now that is hard to control. It's like the left hand. So it's kind of hard to continue with that precision. Sometimes you can enter into the confusion with the sea of consciousness. So the same thing that can open the path for all of the creations can also open the path for the madness. So and how we're going to be using that water for the seed right now is going to be essential. Because if you are feeling rotten, maybe you can ask the help of the others, to help us producing. Maybe you can use the others as our complement, because the seed is always going to be a complement. So this is a day where you can receive others to, with our ideas, with something that we cannot get it done for this TRECENA. Maybe some entangled ideas that we have there, we weren't able to gather properly. So 10 Canil is a good day to collab with others, to get the others' perspective, or just to, if you're just by yourself, you just can get all this stuff done that is unfinished and can start producing that, use the productivity. But remember that everything needs to be in proportion. Everything needs to be according to the possible as well. Remember that it's very important to set expectations so we don't get frustrated in the TRECENA. So we need to do a good measurement before we start things, to avoid being rotten as well. And then from Laur Canil, 10 seed, we're going to be moving to Hulaur Tor 11 fire. Now 11 is the nawal that is doesn't have a single direction to go. It's what can spread. If nawal 10 converts, nawal 11 is another type of divergence as well. It's something that can spread, that can take things into another level, but also can be something that can also use to dilute something. Is the power of the water. It's the spill water, just like when the waves crashes in the rocks and there are like the drops of water here and there, you cannot predict that. Or the artificial irrigation, like it's not strong, but it's soft, but it doesn't have like a single direction to go. And now Tor, we talk about the ascending fire. Is the fire that we do to go up. If Kat, we talk about the descending fire. Now it's the sacrifices we do for the other or for something. Now Tor is the sacrifices that we do for yourself. For example, when you commit yourself, like in a mortgage, you're buying a house, then you make a mortgage. Sometimes like the price of the mortgage can be like painful for you to pay that. So it may take you like several years, maybe take you like that can cost you like your peace of mind, that can cost you like your sickness, can cost you lots of stuff. But after you pay, it's yours. It's your sacrifice. It's a sacrifice that you chose to be in. So this is very important. So it's the price of your commitment. So now 11 Tor is the way to spread, like your ambitions over there, spread the power of the control that you would like to have, or to set expectations what you really can handle. Because whenever Tor always gonna be collecting payment, is the now of the offering. Like nothing in here in the Maya philosophy comes for free. Everything is a trade. The same way that I always say here, like the same amount of air that we take from the earth whenever we inhale, we need to give back in the same proportion when we exhale. Everything is a trade. So that's one of the basic Maya points, like the Maya principles to take into account. So now Tor always is gonna be, consuming something. If you do not pay Tor as an offering, it can consume your life energy, can consume like you. And if you cannot handle that, everything, that frustration can become sickness. That's why there is a now it's kind of hard to do, like it's the now of the injuries, and now that collects that feeds from that as well. So 11 Tor is the now, just to spread the payments that you need to do to achieve all of this tapestry. Like sometimes you need to pay with your efforts over there, pay with your commitment, pay like with your blood, just giving your energy to get that. But bear in mind of the price that the things can cost. It's all a matter, that you can tell like what you can handle and what you cannot handle. So it could be a day for you to dilute like the pain that you're feeling, or like the weight of your commitments that sometimes it's just make your life not walking, just making you become entangled. So there is nothing wrong for you to say, maybe I cannot handle that. So it's all about for you to acknowledge the price of the stuff, the payment that is required to achieve this stuff. And then from 11 Tor, we're going to be moving to Kawuq, Tz'i, 12 dog. The now 12 is the moment of the hidden balance of the TRECENA, or the cash out. Is the final moments before the accumulation. And where you can see maybe you got something extra, or maybe it's the moment for you to making this stuff even. And now Tz'i is the now of the emotions. But whenever we talk about the emotions, we cannot control them. Like they can go everywhere, like they can shift according to our mood, like our spiritual state. Sometimes the same emotion that makes us create bonds with others, sometimes like if we feel pissed off, is the emotion that can corrupt you and can enter into the corruption side. That's why Tz'i is also connecting to the authority that bites. It's now of the confusion in the emotions. Or that sometimes, for example, whenever you try to find something to escape, you are experiencing anxiety, and then you feel chaos in your body, like the complete destruction that can drive you into promiscuity stuff, especially like sexual stuff, out of oversexed stuff, just being like a dog, a strict dog, fucking around like that, just throwing away your driving force, like your sexual energy as well. So it's also a way for you to balance that stuff, rebalancing your emotional side, for you to come to a solid ground, how to resolve stuff. We cannot resolve anything if we are like in a turmoil of emotions. If we are just in this turmoil of emotions, we can just end up getting more entangled and frustrated and imploding with that. That's 1 second. Because the live on Instagram just finalized. Oh my gosh. Let me go live here again. Oh, I forgot the live on Instagram only lasts 1 hour. Let's wait Marcus to go back. And so the 12 Tz'i is going to be the moment of the TRECENA, just to bring the hidden balance, you know, on your emotions, just to put things before the accumulation, putting things into place before the accumulation. And also could be the place where you can use that, like the energy of the help of your friends, like your companionship, to help, you know, bring the passion that you need. Sometimes it can be good to co-creating with others as well, just to join like your combined visions, you know, together, just to create like this biggest tapestry in life. And then moving from Kawuq Tz'i, 12 dog, we're gonna arrive to the culmination of the TRECENA and the ruler Osh-Lahubats, 13 monkey or 13 thread. The nawal 13 is the biggest accumulation. We always refer that as a metaphor for the ocean, like as being like this biggest entity, the accumulation of water. But also talking about what can transcend, like the elder, like this biggest entity. In our bats, we talk about, as I mentioned in the beginning of this TRECENA analysis, is the nawal of the interconnections, is the nawal that's associated with the monkey that is going to be swinging the trees. By the way they swing resembles the way we, like the Maya weavers, they connect the dots, they connect the, like they do the interweaving of threads over there. And so that's like a way for you to come to conclusion, how to resolve stuff, how for you to bring solutions for what was in the dark. If you were lost in the turmoil of the chaos of the Tz'i, now Bats will restore things into order. Maybe after connecting all of this stuff in the beginning of the TRECENA, we start with this vision. And then we retract to see the calculations on how we can bring that into life, how to overcome insecurities into Junajpu, then opening the path for the flow in our 3 water, then establishing our excitements in our 4 wind, then overflowing with clarity in 5 clarity, and then pondering like the tasks to do in 6 cuts, 6 burning into ashes, to find like our real passion in 7 Kame, or the real way to intervene in 7 Kame, 7 serpent. Then we can return with the support of the ancestors in our 8 Kame, so we can gestate our innate strength to be able to handle all of this in 9 Care, 9 Deer, so we can converge all of the complements necessary for us to germinate and multiplicate our ideas, or to be able to produce. So then we can dilute the pain that they're going, or maybe spread the range of the rounds that we can commit ourselves safely in 11 fire, 11 Tor. So we can get like this cash out of emotions, this extra unexpected emotions over there in balance. So this accumulation, Bats can do the biggest interconnection, the tapestry of all of these interconnections that we are seeing in this TRECENA. So we can arrive to this final resolution, so it can be like our biggest passion into life, our biggest creation, or really, or just know how to intervene, how to use these ideas to intervene, to bring our life to where we want it, where we want to be. And here we just finished the analysis of this 13 Bats TRECENA. Then we're gonna be getting ready for the next TRECENA, that is the 13 Cat, 13 burning to ashes TRECENA. And now I'll be going back to the messages. Marcus, I know you send the messages here on Instagram. As the live finished, I cannot recover like the everything that you wrote here. I'm sorry for that, but if you're just joining the Instagram, you can the YouTube, you can write me over there, or write me in a DM so I can go back and answer all of your questions. Okay. So now let me go back here. And guys, everybody who's here watching, if you have questions now, I'm gonna be here to reply you. You mentioned that the Maya calendar is not linear, but how do you anticipate for planning? with the wheel alone or other tools. Alignment just seems like a weak schedule with numbers and names. So there are many ways, for example, depending on what is your goal. If you're using for productivity, like there is not a fixed rule that you can do that. But the most important thing that we can apply in the Maya calendar is how you're gonna lay your intention. So you don't need to be like obsessed or just trying to use every day, because the development is going to be naturally going. Whenever something happens, you can already see what the day is bringing, what can be like the projection of that, what is a development, and what can bring as an incitation. Because in the Maya calendar, everything. Oh, just one second, Marcus. No, you left the live. So everything like has a mom and a dad, like everything has a mother and a father that gives birth into something. For example, the ideas, everything comes an idea, that's something like feminine, and also a masculine element in life that gives birth into something. So there is always like this interweaving of everything that we start right now, that is already a proper development going on over there. Maybe you cannot see that, you can only see like some possibilities, but everything already have like a destination. So what you can do is settle what is your intention right now, like what you are doing right now, how it connects later on, like where everything is going to be placed over there. But also like continue, using your past experience as well to build that, using like what didn't work as well, so you can plan yourself to see how you can get things done. That's a way, so you can use that to think on how to do that. But the most important thing, like, is whenever you choose a day or you pick a day to initiate something, just put your intention there as you are planting a seed, and then you just keep nurturing that. There are many types of counting. Here I only talk about the TRECENA, that is the 13 days counting, which is the main one. Like for the basic stuff, you can do everything with the TRECENA. But we also have the Winak Kehnen, which is the Venus count, the 20 days. We also have the Nima Cholq'ij, which is the sun counting, which is the one that they can really do a lot. They can really know what is your personal counting and how you can do more with that. Which are like, these are not very well known countings, but how everything connects to the same place. Or there are thousands of ways. I can keep hours to talk about like ways to do that. But in a simple way, you can do that. What I can say, that only just think about your intention. Like your intention that is also connected to where you want to get and from where you're coming from. So that's the most important thing that you could do. And I don't know, did I answer your questions, Cedric? If not, you can just continue asking here. Other than readings, what else can you do with the Mayan calendar? So you can do everything with the Maya calendar. The Maya calendar primarily, it's like the Cholq'ij, the order of the days, is a ceremonial calendar. It's a way for you just to understand what is happening in nature, to arrive to this philosophy of nature, to these simple observations of how things go, for you to get practical solutions on how to resolve stuff. So the Maya calendar, whenever you are immersed to that, you can use that for everything. Like the main stuff, like, okay, there is this type of planning stuff to do earthly things, let's call it like that I can use just like an agenda. It's okay, we can use that. It's a fun way, it's easier to track time, to get used, so it's great. But there is a way for you to, get spiritual healing. It's a way for you to enhance spiritual capabilities, for you to get to know yourself, and for you to develop yourself, to get more awareness of how your nature works. I know many places over there, they talk about, oh, what is my strengths and my weaknesses? I don't think it's a nice way to describe that, because it's our nature, and our nature is always going to be dependent on certain conditions. So you need to understand how our nature works in a specific conditions, how you tend to behave according to every single situation. Because personality in the Maya calendar is cyclical. So you always keep coming back to the same thing. So even though we face some stuff like, okay, in the past when we were a child, but circumstances appear with different masks, so you tend to repeat patterns of behavior. So the Maya calendar helps you to understand what are your patterns of behavior, what triggers everything that you do. Because we don't have only one owl. Like depending on the people in their counting, they can have from 14 to 22 owls, each one. So there is no way in the Maya calendar you can just get like a generic explanation. Oh, you're a bat, you're supposed to be artist. Everybody can be an artist, you know. Everybody can do that. Oh, it's just intuition, but everybody can do that. So, but you need to understand what triggers you, like how is your ushlab, being made. And from that, you can expand to lots of stuff. You can expand onto how you find you're going to be applying your life mission into your job, in your career, how you can get like a better interaction with your partner, like in couples, how you can resolve stuff, like how you can foster the potentials of your children. So there are thousands of possibilities that we can do with the Maya calendar. If you want to check it out, I have in my website, there is the tab readings over there. I have 4 types of sessions, most of stuff that I do with the Maya calendar along these years. There is the reading of the path, the couples reading, the luminary session, and the career alignment. There is everything is very detailed, explained over there in my website, how these work. But also we can also go to a spiritual, ceremonies to intervene, for example, disease. We can also do divination with the Maya calendar as well. There are, like some things I don't need to mention here because it's a lot. Maybe other videos I can mention about talking about like these other realms. But it's a way for you to connect to the mundo, to the world. And so this is a very broad answer. I'll just try to be soft here. Thank you. Do you have a book or just a mouth word to learn this? So, I have a book coming up, like talking about like this very fundamental stuff. But if you like just to get like deeper into this knowledge of the calendar, approach, that is my Tata's book that is called The Birth of the Universe, The Maya Science of Pregnancy. Is a great book to start. That is I will send you. I think you're following me on Instagram, right, Cedric? I can send you the link if you want. Another book for not being biased to my own teacher as well, because I read all of them through all of these 7 years that I have been immersed in Maya culture. Another beautiful book that you can see how the calendar works in the highlands and how like they follow that is A Time in the Highland Maya by Barbara Tedlock. Like this is an old book. She's an anthropologist who spent 20 years in the communities. So she was trained there as a daykeeper by two Maya people over there. So it's a great book to have like this interaction, like for you to understand like how they use. Some of the stuff, okay, there are many distortions over there because of the church and everything. But it's a great book, to cover lots of stuff. Books from Dennis and Barbara Tedlock, like I love them, like their approach. It's always good to check, like whenever you're going to read a book, always see like what is the background of the person, like what is their story. Because I have been involved like with indigenous communities for 10 years, not only with the Maya. I live in Brazil, So here, like I'm together with the Guarani people, the Hunikuin people. So I'm used to go to the deep villages in the jungle that is very far away. And sometimes I see how anthropologists, like they arrive there, just to understand the culture. They arrive there, like sometimes they stay a week and they expect to get like everything in a week. But to enter into a culture, to understand how a culture thinks, it's a big effort. You need to go there, you need to spend some time with them. You need to understand like how they approach their things. Because it's very easy for us to distort stuff, especially because of the language barrier. Because sometimes what appears to be something, for example, whenever we talk about consciousness and ascension, like if you talk about in the Hinduism, is something that, for example, they believe in reincarnation, they believe like in karma and dharma, but that doesn't apply for the Mayas. They don't see that. It's not like it's not the same stuff. It can work for their philosophy. There is no like a one certain way. It's not a way to find like one single solution. But for you to understand how the Mayas do, like how they have their approach, you need to dive into understand how the culture think in the first place. Because that's when like you can start just having like a better understanding how the Maya calendar work, like what you can do with that. Because otherwise it's gonna be just something that's okay, oh, it's nice to follow, oh, it's fun, but it's going to be, that's it. Because then it just becomes very limited. You're not even going to be grasping like 5% of the Maya calendar can offer. So it's important to see like what is the background of the people that you are researching from. Like from where they learned, like from what town, for example, like the lineage, for example, the Maya, or who are the Tatas. What is that lineage comes from, so you can understand, so you can have something that you can go there and ask as well. So to not fall into because there are so much fake stuff, sadly. People who doesn't learn anything, just take some answers, distort and try to adapt to their own ideas. And I'm not going to be mentioning the names of the terrible books in here, but you can always DM me and then I can let you know like this stuff. And any questions before, or we can, so let me finalize the live here on Instagram. Do you watch the stars often, like your teacher? To be honest, like lately, not that much. But whenever I go to the indigenous communities, like especially for those that I go who doesn't have like electricity, there are ceremonies that we do there. So we stargaze a lot in there, especially because here in the southern hemisphere, like it's a different like stars and constellations that most people that I can see in the northern hemisphere. Where are you from, by the way, Cedric? I think we are from, like, if I'm not mistaken, I can be wrong, but we are from a French country. I don't know, maybe France or Canada. I don't know. But like but I don't really like do that like for paying attention for stargazing. That like my main focus like with the calendar is more about doing like the spiritual ceremonies, I like just doing like that, for tracking, like for the divination, the signs in the body, which is my favorite subject in here, like the lightning stuff. And because like once you enter into this and go into that, like you don't even need to follow the day by day anymore. And oh, you remember well, sir, but I live. Oh, cool. Nice, the warm California in San Francisco. But like I only tend to do that whenever I go to spend some time in the indigenous communities, especially because now in the city where I live, like Sao Paulo, like the sky is very polluted, so we can only see like few stars that are left in the sky. So, but there are some communities that every time I go, like it looks like it doesn't look like real. Like you can see like so many stars, like so many the constellations. I can see like the Andromedas over there. Like it looks like a psychedelic trip, you know, just being sober over there. And that's like when I tend to do that. And I like to do that whenever like I'm listening to an elder over there, like that has an experience to explain the phenomena. I know like the ways that I learned the ways, for example, using the Popol Vuh to understand the astronomical events, but that's not my real strength. But if that's something that really interests you, I can bring Tata Pabianteu here to to give a class about that. But I don't used to do that much. Any more questions, guys? Do you think the Popol Vuh got mixed with Christian stuff? No, the Popol Vuh, no, but like there are some translations that there were. The one that I recommend is the one from Dennis Tedlock. His translation, I think it's my favorite. Is the one that I heard like from all of the Mayas, like that is the closest that you can get like from the real Quiche version. And but as always, but for example, there are lots of stuff that got mixed. For example, as we were talking in the last video with the Chilam Balam books, as well from the Yucatec. There are lots depending on the translation that can be something that got mixed up. And sadly, you know, things with the Yucatec version, like unfortunately, you know, like we don't have like lots of stuff, you know, remaining over there. But I know that there is like some institutions that they are working on teaching the glyphs, you know, for the Yucatec Mayan people. They're in the lowlands. There is a documentary that is really worth it watching that is called Breaking the Maya Code. It's a paid one. It's from night rounds, something like that. But it's like $5, you know, to rent the documentary that talks about mainly about how the description and the glyphs were translated, and what is being done, like currently done, you know, in the lands to recover that, just to keep people, you know, interested in their own culture. Because of course, like the globalization, everybody, you know, like just tend to lose the interest. I have videos here in the channel where Pabian talks about that. You know, people only care about you know, Cristiano Ronaldo, you know, playing in Saudi Arabia and stuff like that. But there is a huge effort, you know, being done to preserve this stuff. So I highly recommend like this documentary. It's called Breaking the Maya Code. There is another one that's called Cracking the Maya Code that is on YouTube, but this one is the shit version that is mixed with new age stuff, and like this one is a little bit messy. And but it's always interesting, you know, to analyze that, like the takes of the Popol Vuh, like the references over there. No, I don't know like how to write glyphs. Like I have like some few stuff, like for example, like how you mix glyphs, like the main ones. Because like the glyphs, for example, whenever you take like the glyphs of the nawals, because the glyphs vary according to the language. The Quiche people, they don't have like a writing in glyphs. So every time we express like the glyphs of a nawal, we always use like for the Cholan or for the Yucatec glyphs to express that more as a symbol, not as much as like a reading something. I know like some of them, like at least like the glyphs of some of those nawals, related to the calendar. For example, one of the common bat glyphs that you have, like they have the teeth of the hollower monkey, and also like the circle at the top that can represent also the throat of a baby screaming, like our baby being born, like the cry of the baby over there. Like the nawal that represents the teeth or a skull, that like a decorated skull, to talk about like how you decorate yourself through your path, as the meaning of life is death, but how you express your essence through life, how you decorate it, like your self-expression. Or nawal that has like those two dots over there and two in here, that's referred to the Maya houses, where like they hang the corns to dry, the process of transformation, the dry of the coin, so then you can eat that. So the Ishvalam is the spots of the jaguar that talks about the gestation, the fertility of the world, and so on. But writing in glyphs, no. If you are interested there, like in the glyphs, there is a book from Michael Cole. Like he's an expert like in glyphs, in these Yucatec versions. Like I think it's the best one. But I know zero glyph writing. But what I like to do, I like drawing the glyphs. Like for example, I have a series of the images. I don't know if there is a way to show here. Let me see if I can show here. Because one of the things that I like to do, I like creating some things based on that. I'll be posting that soon, but only just give you a sneak peek of. Okay, let me show you here. So I was working in making some realistified versions of the nawals. For example, one thing, for example, whenever we're talking about the glyphs, this is like in reality they are all red, because here represents like the blood, like the square here is the blood, because the nawal is the consciousness that runs in our blood. And here, like the legs, here represents the dreams in there, because the consciousness that appears in dreams. Like here, as I was talking about, like this concept art that I was creating. For example, nawal, a decorated skull, like also highlighting the teeth with the jade, and also like this flower that is the monja blanca that they use for the ceremonies when somebody dies, for the funeral as well. So I was doing that, for example, nawal, just doing like this process of the corn drying over there, in the Maya walls here, the process of transformation. So I'm gonna be releasing that soon to show you. And hello Maya, nice to see you. Unfortunately, we are just finalizing the live, but the live is gonna be kept recorded here, so you can go back and watch it. And I hope everything is great there in Hawaii, in the beautiful Hawaii. And so, do you have any more questions? Or we can finalize the live. Well, if you don't have more questions, we can. So we can close the live. So it was nice having you here. And so, what is your now? I'm all of them. I'm all of them. And so that's it, guys. Thank you for being around. If you have any more questions, you can use the Instagram or send me comments here on YouTube. If you have any suggestions for contents that you'd like to see me bringing here, I have some ideas, some future videos that I'm excited to post. I'll be posting very soon. And as I mentioned on Instagram yesterday, in this new year that we're starting this Kawuq nawal, we're gonna be having like lots to talk. Oh, by the way, I think I forgot to answer one second, a message that you sent, Cedric, or have I replied already all of it? Well, I think so, but if you have any questions that you can ask me like anywhere, like Instagram, DM me, or just find me on consultations there in my website. There is also my WhatsApp number in my website as well, in case you want to get in contact with me. I'm here to help you and shining a light here with the calendar. Okay? Thank you all for the company. Wishing you all a great TRECENA ahead. And see you in the next video. Ciao.